Man City suffered their first Premier League defeat of 2024 as they were beaten 2-1 by Bournemouth after turning in a performance well below par at the Vitality Stadium. Antoine Semenyo and Evan Nelson struck to seal a deserved victory for the Cherries, who had never before beaten the Cherries in the league in their entire history. Bournemouth smelled blood from the off. Inside 2 minutes, Ederson was forced into a double save to first deny Semenyo and then Justin Kluivert from the follow-up. And after the lively start continued, the laser-focused Semenyo turned and tucked home his fourth of the season after being picked out by Milos Kerkez. Man City lacked any sort of fluency going forward and ended the first half, uncharacteristically, without a shot on target. Kerkez bravely blocked a drive from Bernardo Silva, and Erling Haaland skewed wide, but that was as good as it got. A last-ditch save from Ederson prevented Evanilson from doubling the hosts' lead shortly after the start of the second half, but the Brazilian did just that after 64 minutes, making early contact with a wicked Kerkez ball to catch the City stopper out. Amazingly, it could have been 3 when the Cherries broke again within minutes, but Marcus Tavernier struck the post before Adam Smith somehow blazed the rebound over with the goal gaping. Josko Gvardiol got on the end of an Ilkay Gundogan cross to loop in a header and halve the deficit, which set up an incredibly tense finale. But City knew their luck was out when Haaland guided a simple shot onto the post from point-blank range at the death.
Everything was on the line for Atlanta United on Saturday as the club hosted number 1 seed Inter Miami CF in a must-win match in the Audi 2024 MLS Cup Round 1 best-of-3 series. And the team gave everything, showing a lot of fight to defeat the Supporters' Shield winners 2-1 in Game 2 behind a last-gasp goal from Xandi Silva. The game winner arrived in the match's dying moments, as Atlanta United pressed for the equalizer in stoppage time, looking to end the match in regulation and avoid penalty kicks. Midfielder Alexei Miranchuk won the ball in Atlanta's half. A fast combination between Miranchuk, Tristan Muyumba and Daniel Rios created open space at the top of the box for Xandi Silva. The winger took a touch with the outside of his right foot, then struck a stunner with his right, into the upper corner of the net, to send Mercedes-Benz Stadium into an uproar. On the preceding corner kick, Atlanta United created 2 header opportunities back-to-back inside the box. The second, off Williams from a cross served by fullback Pedro Amador, just missed. The near misses got the supporters in the stands on their feet to reward the effort from the Five Stripes. A few other opportunities during this stretch included a long-range strike from Miranchuk, which required a diving save from Miami goalkeeper Drake Callender. Thiaré tried a dribble and a close-range shot that, again, required a save. Thiaré had another moment when Saba Lobjanidze sent in a dangerous cross in the 30th minute. Callender came off his line to bat the ball away in what was nearly a collision between striker and goalkeeper. A few other opportunities during this stretch included a long-range strike from Miranchuk, which required a diving save from Miami goalkeeper Drake Callender. Thiaré tried a dribble and a close-range shot that, again, required a save. Thiaré had another moment when Saba Lobjanidze sent in a dangerous cross in the 30th minute. Callender came off his line to bat the ball away in what was nearly a collision between striker and goalkeeper. Miami struck first, however. After goalkeeper Brad Guzan collected a Miami corner kick, he brought the ball to the top of his box and dropped it for what appeared to be a punt. But before he could make contact, Guzan was tripped up, leaving a loose ball and an open net. David Martinez put it away to make it 1-0 Miami in the 40th minute. Finally, Atlanta United's moment arrived and the home side equalized. After nearly getting there earlier in the match, Williams converted a diving header off a cross from Amador, finding success on a connection that nearly worked earlier in the match. The finish sent the record crowd at Mercedes-Benz into a frenzy, and the match was even 1-1 in the 58th minute. The goal was the first of the season for Williams. It was the 7th assist for Amador since arriving to the club this summer.
Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr ended Al Hilal's perfect start to the season on Friday, but could not inflict a first defeat on their Riyadh rivals since April. The Saudi Pro League champions fought back from Anderson Talisca's first-minute opener to secure a 1-1 draw thanks to a second-half header from Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. The result means the reigning champions have still only lost once in all competitions since Ronaldo's double led Al Nassr to a 2-1 win in the 2023 Kings Cup final. Ronaldo has now gone 3 games without a goal for his club side. Although fans were denied the chance of seeing Ronaldo face off against Neymar, they were still treated to an engrossing local derby in which Talisca struck inside the first minute, expertly controlling Otavio's pass before side-footing into the corner. Al Nassr were good value for their first-half lead as they harried the league leaders in their own half to good effect. Ronaldo lined up a free kick after one good piece of pressing, but rather than shoot, he played a precise cross towards Mohamed Simakan, who could not quite direct his header on target. Talisca twice had the ball in the net for the home side, only to be denied by the offside flag. But Stefano Pioli's team began to tire after the hour mark, as Al Hilal looked increasingly threatening. Salim Al-Dawsari's curling strike came off the back post, and after the rebound was clawed agonizingly wide by the keeper, it seemed like luck was on Al Nassr's side. The result means the reigning champions have still only lost once in all competitions since Ronaldo's double led Al Nassr to a 2-1 win in the 2023 Kings Cup final. Ronaldo has now gone 3 games without a goal for his club side. More, where did Cristiano Ronaldo finish in the Ballon d'Or standings? Al Nassr vs. Al Hilal final score full-time goal scorers: Al Nassr 1, Talisca 1, Al Hilal 1, Milinkovic-Savic 77. Confirmed lineups: Al Nassr 4-2-3-1, right to left 24, Bento GK 2, Sultan Al Ghanem 3, Mohamed Simakan 27, Aymeric Laporte 12, Nawaf Bouchal 11, Marcelo Brozovic 17, Abdullah Al-Khaibari 94, Anderson Talisca 25, Otavio 10, Sadio Mane 7, Cristiano Ronaldo. Al Hilal 4-2-3-1, right to left 37, Yassine Bono GK Joao Cancelo 3, Kalidou Koulibaly 5, Ali Al-Balehi 6, Renan Lodi 28, Mohamed Kano 22, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic 15, Mohamed Al-Khattani 77, Malcolm 29, Salim Al-Dawsari 9, Alexander Mitrovic. More, all the latest soccer action, Cristiano Ronaldo news. Although fans were denied the chance of seeing Ronaldo face off against Neymar, they were still treated to an engrossing local derby in which Talisca struck inside the first minute, expertly controlling Otavio's pass before side-footing into the corner. Al Nassr were good value for their first-half lead as they harried the league leaders in their own half to good effect. Ronaldo lined up a free kick after one good piece of pressing, but rather than shoot, he played a precise cross toward Vat. Nottingham Forest recorded a 3rd successive Premier League win to go 3rd in the table, as informed striker Chris Wood inspired them to a comfortable 3-0 success against West Ham United at the City Ground. Saturday, 2nd of November. The City Ground, Nottingham. Nottingham Forest 3-0 West Ham. Wood headed home for his 6th goal in his last 6 Premier League games midway through the first half, before Julian Lopetegui's visitors saw Edson Alvarez sent off. Playing the second half with 10 men, the Hammers' woes were compounded by further goals from Callum Hudson-Odoi and Ola Aina as Forest stretched their unbeaten run to 4 matches. Nuno Espirito Santo's men leapfrogged Arsenal into 3rd place in the table following the Gunners' 1-0 defeat to Newcastle United earlier on Saturday. West Ham, meanwhile, slipped to 14th with 11 points from 10 matches, having failed to build on last week's victory over Manchester United. How the match unfolded. Forest dominated the early stages, but Nuno's hosts struggled for clear-cut chances, with Hudson-Odoi dragging a close-range effort wide inside the first 2 minutes. However, ever-reliable New Zealand international Wood stepped up on 26 minutes, nodding Alex Moreno's dinked cross home from 6 yards out. Nottingham Forest recorded a 3rd successive Premier League win to go 3rd in the table, as informed striker Chris Wood inspired them to a comfortable 3-0 success against West Ham United at the City Ground. Saturday, 2nd of November. The City Ground, Nottingham. Nottingham Forest 3-0 West Ham. Wood headed home for his 6th goal in his last 6 Premier League games midway through the first half, before Julian Lopetegui's visitors saw Edson Alvarez sent off. Playing the second half with 10 men, the Hammers' woes were compounded by further goals from Callum Hudson-Odoi and Ola Aina as Forest stretched their unbeaten run to 4 matches. Nuno Espirito Santo's men leapfrogged Arsenal into third place in the table following the Gunners' 1-0 defeat to Newcastle United earlier on Saturday. West Ham, meanwhile, slipped to 14th with 11 points from 10 matches, having failed to build on last week's victory over Manchester United. How the match unfolded. Forest dominated the early stages, but Nuno's hosts struggled for clear-cut chances, with Hudson-Odoi dragging a close-range effort wide inside the first 2 minutes. However, ever-reliable New Zealand international Wood stepped up on 26 minutes, nodding Alex Moreno's dinked cross home from 6 yards out. Adam Armstrong scored an 85th-minute winner as Southampton beat Everton 1-0 to earn their first Premier League victory of the season. The left winger's late goal helped lift the Saints off the foot of the table on a day where they were also indebted to the heroics of goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale. Everton's Beto thought he had equalized minutes before the end, but after a lengthy review, the effort was ruled offside, as Russell Martin's promoted side were handed a much-needed boost in their survival bid. Saints' theme of dominating possession continued as Everton struggled to breach the hosts' well-organized structure in the early stages, with new boy Mateus Fernandes being the key link between midfield and attack. The 20-year-old summer signing from Sporting Lisbon floated in between the lines and continuously picked out Armstrong on the right-hand side, but the wideman struggled to get the better of marker Vitaly Mykolenko. Saints continued to play football, which contradicted their 20th place position at the start of the weekend, with Flynn Downs putting Cameron Archer in behind only for the striker's effort to narrowly miss the left post, much to the relief of a well-beaten Jordan Pickford. Yukinari Sugawara was unleashed down the right, and a simple ball into the middle saw Armstrong jink inside and bury his first-time effort into the bottom left-hand corner. Beto thought he had salvaged a point with a finish late on, but VR saved Saints as they won an important and deserved 3 points. Everton had been second best, but with the game level, they were still very much in the contest. A first-time strike from Idrissa Gueye off a corner routine early in the second half saw Ramsdale's save awkwardly spin onto the roof of the net as Everton pushed men forward in search of the opener. The Toffees came close again in the 67th minute. Substitute Jesper Lindstrom wandered onto the left, cut in, and delivered a whipped-in swinging delivery with his right foot, which was met by the head of Michael Keane in the 6-yard box. Miraculously, Ramsdale demonstrated instinctive reflexes to touch the ball onto the post, keeping the scores level. Ramsdale's heroics continued as he began to outperform opposite number and England number 1 Pickford. The former Arsenal man, who made the move to the South Coast for a reported £18 million in the summer, made another incredible stop, this time tipping Lindstrom's free kick over the bar. Beto hit the bar for Everton after 84 minutes, and, typical of the end-to-end affair, Saints surged down the other end to take the lead. A quick-fire double from Cody Gakpo and Mohamed Salah saw Liverpool come from behind to beat Brighton 2-1 at Anfield to move top of the Premier League. Arne Slot saw his side score 2 goals in 3 minutes in the second half after Ferdi Kadioglu put Brighton ahead early on. Seeking revenge for their midweek Carabao Cup defeat to the same opposition, Brighton dominated the early stages. Kadioglu's breakthrough goal was one that involved 21 passes before he drilled his side into the lead with just 13 minutes played. The visitors continued to trouble Liverpool, who struggled to gain any kind of control as Brighton troubled their back four. Jorginho Rutter came close to doubling the Seagulls' lead before the hour mark, but drew out a vital one-on-one save from Keoman Kelleher. Goalscorer Kadioglu nearly netted his second as Brighton broke with Liverpool's defense backpedaling, but he watched his volley at the back post flash over the bar after meeting a chipped Kaoru Mitoma cross. After the break, Liverpool swung the momentum, finding rhythm in their passing as they searched for an equalizer. All of a sudden, Bart Verbruggen found himself very much involved in the Brighton net, keeping out Alexis Mac Allister with a reaction save minutes after the restart. Following continued Liverpool pressure, Gakpo followed up his brace in midweek with the leveler, before Salah whipped in the winning goal. Victory for Liverpool means they find themselves top of the league 2 points ahead of Manchester City, who suffered defeat at Bournemouth. Defeat for Brighton denied them a place in the top 4 and leaves them in 7th. We fell to defeat at St James Park as Alexander Isak's early header proved to be enough for Newcastle United to take all 3 points. The Swedish striker's strike proved to be the key moment in a game of few opportunities, with our best falling to Mikel Merino, who saw a shot cleared off the line by Lewis Hall in the first half. There was late drama when Declan Rice looked set to equalize, but he sent his header wide of the target, as we ultimately fell to consecutive away defeats in the league for the first time since May 2022. Swift setback. The opening half was a tight affair, with neither side able to impose themselves on the other, meaning shooting opportunities were few and far between. However, its telling moment came 12 minutes in when the majority of St. James Park burst into celebration. Isak was found in space in the final third, and he laid the ball off to C. Longstaff, who fed Anthony Gordon on the right. The England man swung in a dangerous first-time delivery, and Isak rose highest to power a header past David Raya to score for the 3rd consecutive game. That handed the hosts, who were winless in 5 league matches, a huge dose of confidence, and they managed to keep us quiet for the opening 25 minutes, with Bukayo Saka coming closest, with a couple of efforts that trickled wide either side of Isak's goal. We nearly drew level when William Saliba headed a Declan Rice corner into a congested penalty area, leading to a shot from Mikel Merino, which was blocked on the line by Lewis Hall and scrambled away. But the remaining 20 minutes of the opening 45 were scrappy, with neither side testing either goalkeeper, despite a number of good deliveries being whipped into the home side's area, meaning everything was still up for grabs in the second half. Second half stalemate. That could have swiftly not been the case within the opening minute, following the restart when a swift counterattack saw ex-gunner Joe Willock get a sight of goal, but Raya was equal to his effort. And then the same player tried his luck again on 58 minutes, but this time blazed into the home supporters from a good position. Newcastle were on top at this point, and Raya was called into action again 5 minutes later when he pushed away a fierce Isak drive from 20 yards. But such was the knife edge the game found itself on, we nearly equalized seconds later when Rice cut into the box and saw a shot deflect agonizingly wide of Nick Pope's far post. But once again the chances dried up as both teams defended resolutely, and with 4 minutes to go, Joelinton was next to force Raya to dirty his gloves, albeit with a tame header. As the contest entered stoppage time, Ethan Nwaneri attempted to replicate his superb strike at Preston in midweek, but saw it sail into the Gallowgate end. But a huge opportunity fell Rice's way in the 94th minute when Saka swung in a delicious delivery that was begging to be headed in, but the England man miscued and saw the chance to snatch